What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jermaine Dolly, Mr. Hello Dolly himself, and guess what? I'm listening to my favorite station,
WCHB AM 1340, the voice of the church.
right here. Keep it locked.
Detroit, you need to be made aware. Welcome to Practicing Self-Awareness with hosts Robert Chacon and Jose Villegas.
Good afternoon, Detroit. You're listening to 1340 AM WCHB. I'm Robert Chacon, and I'm here with Jose Villegas, the Zerb, and we're doing the Practicing Awareness show. What's going on with you, Zerb?
Oh, man, staying aware, just observing, that's all.
Just observing? Okay.
Yeah, I'm serving, Zerb.
Okay, that's beautiful. Well, we're going to get right into the show today. We're not going to delay. We're going to get right into the subject matter we're going to talk about, and we're going to continue from last week. We were talking about certain questions we had because we were talking about how to practice self-awareness. So we know that practicing self-awareness is what? We pay attention to what we're thinking. Pay attention to what we're feeling. Then we pay attention to the thoughts that those feelings generate. Then we proceed to watch what actions we take as a result. So that's very simple, but last week we started to put it in real life practices so people could really see what it looks like in somebody's life. And we had a couple of questions, so we're going to continue with that this week. So the first thing I have, Zerb, is this is an awareness practice. To watch yourself have a negative feeling, but don't attach to it as though it's you. You want to share on that one a little bit, Zert?
Yeah, I like that because, I'm reading this book called The Biology of Belief, right?
Okay.
And I'm noticing some of the books that's coming into my life, I'm not looking for them. But I've gotten to a place where now the life is creating itself, right?
Okay.
And so what you're talking about is we can't be the feeling and the one experiencing it too. So
wow.
We don't understand. Yeah, we don't understand that we're not our thoughts, we're not our feelings, right?
Okay.
But we're the ones that's experiencing the feeling. So why is it important to start with the negative? Because eventually you're gonna have to end up with all feelings, right? But why we start with the negative? Because a negative feeling has so much energy in it that it makes you unconsciously react to it. Then you mess stuff up, like quit your job or hit somebody or whatever it does, right?
Those were some good examples.
right. Well, whatever it does.
Have you looked on social media? It's a lot of people hitting people.
Now, all of that, they're taking guns and going to stores, regular growth. Look, we done crossed the line. You're killing people in stores and churches and schools. There ain't nothing left that we thought you didn't go into and kill people in over anger. That's really how you feel.
Right.
But when you attach to a feeling, you lose control of yourself. That's why you practice. That's why when you first started this, we started with our negative states. Anytime we felt something negative, we hesitated.
Yeah.
Why did we hesitate? To give something else time to come in. Some other answer, or just let the feeling itself die down. Because when you feel a feeling, you're feeling at its highest mark, the highest place. Then it got to come down from there. So yeah, go ahead, Gary.
So let me chime in. So the example is, we'll reset it because you had some very, very good stuff. We appreciate you for that. The example is, let yourself feel a negative reaction without attaching to it. So let me give you an example of what it would look like in my life. So as I've been going on about my day, I've had a couple of situations where people have kind of said things in a way that I didn't really necessarily like, or it was more like the tone, right? It wasn't what they said, but it was kind of the tone they said it in, right? So what I decided was in in relation to the subject matter today, I had a negative reaction inside, but I decided I was gonna temper myself as much as I could, try to be as less react, because when you're disturbed by somebody's behavior, it's a knee jerk reaction to attack back. Watch this. It's normal, but it's not natural. But it's normal. Oh, you like that, huh?
Yeah, I like that. That was good. That was smooth.
Yeah. It's normal to do it, but it's really not natural. We just believe it's natural because that's all how we've always done. So I've been trying to temper my knee jerk as much as possible and just stay aware. I'm watching me have this response, and I'm just paying attention to myself. See, everything that come in your mind, you don't have to express, do, or be. You can pay attention to it. We just never had anything that introduced that concept to us. So I just decided, I said, I'm going to stay aware. And it happened over the course of 2 or 3 days, a few times. And I just stayed aware. I heard something say, meaning by me staying aware, I created a space. Because this is what's natural, that we create a space and really examine. Because really, and that's why if you're ever on social media and you hear people responding negatively to somebody says, somebody always say, the stone that hit the first dog start hollering. I'm examining this reaction, and I created a space to hear something higher. I heard something say, so I for a while, I've been a very heavy part of a 12-step recovery group as a result of my addiction. I'll be celebrating 32 years of sobriety this year. Thank you. Yeah, but as a result of my addiction, I had joined a 12-step group, right? And I remember it was a time we were doing this thing called a fourth step and an 8th step and a 9th step, which is amends. And I can remember having this one amends where I had treated somebody very, 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 very bad at one point in my life. This was before I even started drinking heavily and doing all that kind of stuff. I had practiced some very, very, very cruel behavior to a family member, and it was almost all of a sudden. And for a lot of years, I felt bad that because this family member passed on, that I couldn't go back and make amends, and I was reminded of it over the past couple of days, and I said, wow, it made me think. It said, see, I'm having this knee-jerk reaction about things I don't like the way people do or say, and I was like, but I don't want to bully or beat up on people for being who they are, because why? I don't want to be years down the road feeling sorry for how I treated or acted towards somebody. You see what I'm saying? So I want to continue to work on myself because, see, a lot of times these things be so big and so intense. It's because we having this knee jerk. But when you get down the road, you find out. You was talking about quitting a job. I was in radio, and I can remember quitting a job just because I was mad at somebody. That me and somebody were close, and they had moved to upper management, and I felt as though they were acting funny, and I had actually quit. And I can remember they died like about 20 years later. I can remember going to their funeral and being like, man, that was the pettiest little argument. I mean, you do you understand what I'm saying, sir?
Yeah. I don't understand, because I go through an experience sometime where my mind will pull up stuff from the past and make me feel bad about it today.
Yeah.
And what I would do is just go aware of it. And say to myself, if I could have done better then, I would have. I couldn't do better at that moment. Because you got to watch regret. Regret don't do nothing but keep you stuck in the past, right?
Right.
Because regret don't change anything. It's already been happened, and I noticed how my mind did that. But something more important too about what this topic here of hesitating. If you just practice the hesitation part, the revelation gonna be real, right? You're gonna see stuff about you. So you don't even have to. I found for me that just practicing hesitating. See, I feel if I just something you kept saying a few minutes ago, knee jerk reaction. That's what gets us in trouble. Knee jerk. What is a knee jerk? You ever see that thing in the doctor's office? They hit you on the bottom of your certain part of your knee to see if your reflex works and your knee jerks.
Right.
Well, have you noticed you couldn't stop that?
Right. It's a knee jerk.
That's why but the only difference between a knee jerk and a knee jerk reaction is we're giving you a process to stop that.
Right. By paying attention.
Yeah, by slowing your reaction. See, because here's what I found out more than anything. My mind and emotions cannot create my life. My decision does, right?
Uh-oh.
But
nice.
the problem, watch it now. But the problem is I'm making knee-jerk decisions there. See what I'm saying? I'm making a decision on how my mind and emotions are reacting to my experiences. Because most of the time, nobody taught us that every time you have an experience, the first reaction to it is not you. The first reaction to my experiences are my thoughts and feelings. But I didn't get to create the thoughts and feelings. They was created by the actual environment that they reacted to. Ain't that crazy?
Right.
The thought and feeling first got to be created by the environment. Then the thoughts and feeling begin to react to the environment to keep the life the same. Oh,
right.
That was sweet, right?
Wow.
Your life will stay the same if you keep reacting to your mind and emotions the same way.
Yeah.
The same way has to.
Yeah, see, we have to be more mindful, and that's why I made the statement. I said that's why I made the statement. I said, so let's when we have a negative reaction, we're going to consciously try to pay more attention to it, because the first thing we do is we become that reaction. And then we start seeing what we need to do, but how we consciously slow down is be more mindful of it, pay more attention to it.
But see, there for me, a lot of times I can't get that far sometimes because some of my stuff is so powerful, right? So a lot of times I just need to have a habit of just not deciding. You see what I'm saying? Then I can get to being mindful, right? Because a lot of times my mind and my emotions don't even let me have participated in no consciousness, right? It actually, I was saying we should say knocks us out of awareness. We're actually walking around in zombie state. And so a lot of times for me, especially in the beginning, I simply just practice not making a decision immediately. That knee-jerk decision, not making that decision when I feel frustration, aggravation, whatever the negative feeling is, I hesitate. And from the hesitation, I begin to learn about myself. Because I have found sometimes just because I feel something don't mean it's the truth. See, it's the truth that I feel it, but why I feel it, I don't know.
Yeah, and I get that. And see, you hesitating to saying I'm aware something unnatural is happening.
But see, you got to. What we was talking about earlier was the problem. One of the problems with all of us is that we are not taught what we're talking about now.
Right.
But you see, a lot of times, if we are taught what we taught now in the development stages of life, when as kids, by the time we get to our 15, 20, 30 years old, how free would we really be if we knew that? Me and you and I almost heading to 60 years old, and we just not working on freedom.
Right.
Now, ain't nothing wrong with working on it at 60. But I'm just saying, what if the education system, instead of spending so much time on American history and geography, because you learn geography, but you still got to look at a map. You don't remember none of that. What state is next to what? But you burnt a whole lot of time learning something you ain't gonna use, right?
Right.
When they gonna teach us something we gonna use? And so I love. I'm telling you that we talked about how as we knew this, but me, you know it now. See, me, you've been chosen to give this away because why? See, we don't wave nothing off. Me and you wouldn't have never met if we had never smoked crack.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Me and you met because we smoked crack, not because we was in church hollering hallelujah. We was in the crack house hollering, pass me the pipe. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? And then after a while, they put us out because we ran out of money. You know, so we was in the crack house, not the Christ house. And then because of the crack, it forced us to work on ourselves. It forced us. A lot of people don't have enough pain that forces them to work on themselves. Because what we do, we work on the pain, and then once we get better, we stop working.
Right. Yeah. So let's go to the next one, Zerv. So that's the first one. So the first one, and me and Zerv both gave you examples. The first one is pay attention to your negative reaction and try to detach from it. Okay.
By hesitating.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Next one.
Okay. So the next one is be present in your situation.
You start that one out, Zerv.
So when I say be present in your situation, a lot of times in our moment to moment, day to day experiences, we're worried about what's going to happen Wednesday morning, over the weekend, what happened last weekend, what's going to happen, at 3:00 today, and we're not saying that you don't make plans, but to be self-aware, to practice a greater self-awareness is about being in this moment. Because actually, when you think about it, this moment is really the only moment that exists. And if you embrace this moment in all of its glory, in its entirety, you'll find out the next moment just happens to take care of itself. A lot of times we're sabotaging the next moment because we aren't aware in this moment.
I like that, Zerv. See, Zerv, we don't understand. We always in the present moment. We just not present in the present moment. You know what I mean? And what takes our awareness away is our thoughts and feelings, right? Of all this stuff that we got to deal. See, in order to live in the present moment, you first have to accept the fact that you don't know what's going to happen next, Zerv.
Right.
If you accept that fact that you don't know what's going to happen next, but watch this other add-on to it. Not only I don't know what's going to happen next, watch this other add-on, this the freedom part. But I am going to know when I need to know. And I'm not going to have to come up with the answer. The answer going to come up from the universe. It's going to show me the answer. You know, like let's go back to that thing you was talking about a few shows back about that job you decided you didn't know if you were thinking about how much money you're going to let go if you don't take the job, but then you also thought about all you got to give up if you take the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because you were split, yourself was split, you decided what? To just do nothing, but you did nothing on the basis that you knew the answer was going to show up. You didn't try to think about it. That was the key. And that's what makes us unconscious in the present moment is trying to figure everything out. I don't have to. Do you know how much easier it is to truly live in the present moment where I know I don't have to know everything, but I'm going to know everything I need to know? That sounds crazy, right?
Right.
But here's the thing I have to understand. I'm going to know it. What I used to call it, I called it a Red Sea moment. What do I mean? Moses didn't know the sea was going to split, but the sea was split when Moses got there, right?
Right.
But why didn't God split it on his way there? Because he wasn't in the experience where it was needed. So you better get that. Don't let that hang over your head. See, because you look like what you said there earlier, you get it when you get on your way home. No, I don't want you to get it when you way home. I want you to get it now. Understand that God doesn't release God doesn't release an answer unless it can be used.
Right.
Your mind is trying to tell you what's going to happen next, but you have to understand your mind don't know. It's just doing a hell of a guess based on the past.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we have to stay present. And I want to say, to be honest, that's the pebble in the river that created this
Ripple.
Yeah, that created this ripple effect of me understanding, practicing self-awareness. So I once again back to the radio station. Must be a day to talk about the radio station. I was sitting there. I had a gospel show. I was doing my show, and while the music was playing, I looked back at the library of music. So everybody knows my story now. Know I used to work for Martha Jean the Queen, Detroit celebrity Martha Jean the Queen, and I was looking back at the library books, and I saw a book, and it was called the Power of Now.
Mm-hmm.
And I read that book, and it basically revolutionized my existence. That's how I got on this road to practicing self-awareness. Everything else came after that. I started reading this book, The Power of Now, and it was saying things like I never heard before spiritually. It was saying things like, if you would just be present to this moment, if you would be aware in this moment, you'll find out everything is perfect. And when you get in the next moment, you be aware of that one. And it said most of the time that we can't see the perfection because our mind is already somewhere else besides right in this moment. He said, if you think about this moment right here, everything is perfect. And I can remember trying to share it with people, and people were looking at me like I was crazy. Like, what? You sound crazy. But it was so profound for me because I had never heard somebody say something like See, this is what I love about practicing self-awareness. That's why I say practicing self-awareness, because of the simplicity. It's very practical. See, it get back to when I was looking at Tina Turner's, she got a documentary out, and she was chanting the Nam Yang Rang A, and I'm not trying to denigrate that, but I'm so glad that God revealed something to me so practical and simple, just to practice self-awareness. Why? Because for me, that's too difficult for me to, when I'm in the middle of my experience or a situation, to pull that off the shelf and start talking in another language that we normally don't talk in, and chanting and all that. It was like the simplicity of that message was the power of now. Meaning if I'm present to this moment, I'll get a power that I normally don't have. And that revolutionized my existence and everything I know, because up until that point, people had been telling, I was invested in Les Brown. I had went to a whole bunch of different churches. I had all that sharing and all that talk from the fellowship, the 12-step NA and AA. And I had all that talk in my head. And when I'm going through something in life, none of that stuff show up as a practical, simple answer. Something I can remember and think of to calm me down in the moment. All that other stuff. But this simple statement showed up. It said the power of now. And I was like, and most people reaction at first, well, I ain't gonna say my reaction. Most people was actually, it's like, no way it could be that simple, that easy. Hey, Zer, we got a call, man. You want to take this call? Did you want to comment?
No, go ahead. We ain't got much time. Let it run.
Okay, come on, caller. What's going on?
Hello, my fellow Sirs.
What's going on, Zer?
Here.
What's going on?
What's up, Taj? What's up,
Man, what's not going on? But I can handle whatever is going on as long as I'm practicing self-awareness.
There you go.
Just calling in, oh my God, this tool really helped me yesterday. How you doing, Brother Jose? Yesterday, I got some news from my daughter who's expecting. She has a 5-year-old. Her fiance spiked the temperature of 102. And oh my God, it just freaked me out. My mind just started running, and I was just getting all worked up. And I had to practice. I had to hit that button. I ain't had time to get on my knees. I was driving. I didn't have any other magic, okay? I had to actually hit that button of practicing self-awareness. I had to pay attention to what I was feeling. I was feeling fear. I was feeling loss of control. I was feeling helplessness. I was thinking of the worst case scenarios in my head, my grandbaby getting sick, So I started paying attention to them thoughts. I'm like, wait a minute. There is other outcomes of this, Natasha. Just watch your thoughts. So I paid attention to the thoughts being generated from those feelings. I was thinking of extreme sickness, loss, worst case scenarios. And then I started watching, paying attention to the behaviors those thoughts were generating. I could feel my heart accelerating for a minute. I started tearing up, and I just began to watch it. And then I just paused. I detached from it. And it's taken me a while to learn how to perfect that detachment. And I detached from it, and I felt the peace of God come in, and it calmed me down. And I got a phone call maybe 45 minutes after that. My daughter was like, well, his temperature has gone down to normal. He's eating this and that. And, today everybody is good. We're waiting on test results to come back. But it really helped me in that moment. I could have gave myself a heart attack, anything, panic. I don't need any of that. It's not going to make it better. But just being able to practice self-awareness, I could feel the presence of God and that he was really in the mix, taking care of that matter. And it strengthened my faith. I allow God, when you guys talk about taking that pause, we allow God to come in and work it out. Oh, my God, yes. I got so many testimonies, but we don't have time. I'm going to have to call back next week. Keep on doing what y'all doing. It's saving lives. It's saving me from getting on anxiety medication, and it's allowing miracles to come into my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting so many miracles. I'm so happy. I'm just grateful. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you. Thanks, Tosh. We appreciate you calling in. Tasha deserved.
Yeah, not Zerv, but Zerv, you had just said that she came and gave you an example. What you just said, you say, I'm not talking bad about the chanting and all that Tina Turner was doing, right?
Right.
But what you said, but when I'm in the midst of something, I ain't got time. My mind ain't gonna tell me to go over and do that.
Wait. Your mind ain't gonna tell you to go light about 10 candles and start chanting.
But here's why I can't go, sir. Here's why I can't go. Because the mind can't do both of them.
Wow.
It can't tell you, it can't trap you and then tell you how to get away from it.
That was it right there.
That's why you got to have a process that you use to free you from it.
Yeah.
You see, the mind is really the warden that runs the emotional prison.
So you saying you can't get the answer from the same place that's giving you the problem?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The mind cannot tell me I'm not you. It can't tell you that. The mind is trying to be you. It's trying to say this is gonna happen. I'm glad Tasha talked about that because it's been a few times I had some sniffles and thought I had the thing and started thinking crazy, and I said, nope, I'm not accepting that. I'm going to rise above that.
So I'm going to go out on a limb, and it's almost time for us to be done, but I'm going to say this.
But let me say this right there. I just want to thank Tasha for that.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna just leave it alone. Let's go. I ain't gonna even say it. If something telling me don't say it. Go and give them the emails, Eric.
Yeah, the email is self-aware20.
I'm aware we ran out of time, so I probably don't need to say what else. Go ahead.
Right there, self-aware2021 at yahoo.com. Self-aware2021 at yahoo.com. Go ahead, love.
Man, I love you, brother.
Love y'all.
Robinski5, Instagram, ROBINSKI5. Robert Shakan to get the book, Practicing Self-Awareness. You can contact me on Facebook. Have a great day, Detroit. We love y'all.
You have just been made aware. The Practicing Self-Awareness Show with host Robert Shakan and Jose Villegas. Contact Rob at 313-283-5651 or email at selfaware2021 at yahoo.com. That's selfaware2021 at yahoo.com. And tune in again every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. for the Practicing Self-Awareness Show with hosts Robert Chacon and Jose Villegas, right here on